In the grand pantheon of ancient Greece, where gods of wisdom, love, and the harvest were praised with grand temples, there was one god who stood apart. He wasn't worshipped for bringing peace or prosperity. Instead, he was feared. This was Ares, the god of war, and his domain wasn't the glorious victory, but the terrifying, blood-soaked chaos of the battlefield itself. Imagine this. You're an ancient Greek soldier. The air is thick with dust and the smell of iron. You hear the clash of bronze shields and the screams of the fallen. You look up, and there, amidst the carnage, you see him, towering, radiating an aura of pure, unadulterated fury. That's Ares. He wasn't the god you prayed to for a clever strategy. That was his sister, Athena. No, you felt Ares in the pounding of your own heart, in the rage that clouded your vision, in the primal urge to fight and survive. Born to Zeus, the king of the gods, and his queen, Hera, Ares was, in many ways, the black sheep of the Olympian family. While other gods were celebrated for their contributions to civilization art, law, agriculture, Ares embodied everything that Greeks found horrifying about conflict. He was the god of bloodlust, of brute force, and the raw, untamed violence that erupts when diplomacy fails. He didn't care about a just cause or the reasons for a war. For Ares, the battle itself was the only thing that mattered. He never marched alone. At his side were his terrifying sons, Phobos and Deimos. Their names literally translate to fear and terror. Picture it. As Ares charges into the fray, his sons race ahead, their presence spreading a wave of sheer panic through the enemy ranks. Soldiers drop their weapons and flee, their courage shattered before a single sword is swung. Following close behind was Enio, the goddess of destruction, who reveled in the sacking of cities and the utter devastation left in war's wake. This was Ares's entourage family of chaos. His most famous affair wasn't with a goddess of peace or harmony, but with Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. It's a strange pairing, right? The god of brutal war and the goddess of passionate love. But perhaps it's not so strange. Their affair speaks to the powerful, often destructive connection between passion and conflict. Their secret romance was famously exposed by Aphrodite's husband, Hephaestus, who caught them in an unbreakable golden net, humiliating them in front of all the other gods. Ares, the fearsome warrior, was caught and shamed, showing that even a god of war could be brought low by matters of the heart. Despite his fearsome reputation, Ares wasn't invincible. In fact, he was surprisingly vulnerable. During the Trojan War, he was wounded not once, but twice by a mortal hero, Diomedes, with a little help from Athena, of course. Imagine the shame, the god of war, crying out in pain and fleeing the battlefield like a common soldier. It said his roar of agony was as loud as 10,000 men. There's another story, even more humiliating. Two giants, the Alaudae, managed to capture Ares and trap him inside a giant bronze jar. For 13 long months, the god of war was imprisoned, screaming and unheard. The world experienced a strange kind of peace during this time, with no wars breaking out. It took the clever god Hermes to finally find and release him, weakened and utterly humbled. These stories show us a crucial aspect of how the ancient Greeks viewed war. They recognized its necessity, but they didn't glorify its brutality. Ares represented that dark side. He was a force of nature, like an earthquake or a storm, powerful, destructive, and utterly terrifying. while Athena represented the strategic, honorable, and civilized side of warfare. The kind that wins you glory and protects your city. Ares was the raw, ugly truth of it all. So when we think of Ares, we shouldn't picture a noble general leading his troops to a righteous victory. Instead, we should see the embodiment of pure battle rage. He is the deafening roar of armies, the glint of a sword in the sun, and the chilling presence of fear that grips a soldier's heart. He wasn't the hero of war. He was the chaos inside of it. A necessary evil, perhaps, but a force that even the gods themselves often feared and despised. He is a timeless reminder that the heart of conflict is not glory, but fury. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the raw and untamed side of mythology, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories from the ancient world. See you next time.